Danske Bank MacLarnon Cup quarter-final Our Ladies, Castleblayney v St Louis, Ballymena, Friday, 4:30 p.m. in MUSA Cookstown. The Danske Bank MacLarnon Cup campaign for Our Ladies, Castleblayney began with two tough games. They drew their opener with St Malachy's Castlewellan, coming from behind to rescue a point, but then lost to the Derry City amalgamation Cathair Dhoire in the next outing. That left them a hill to climb in the remaining games, but the North Monaghan side got the bit between their teeth and beat St Pius X, Magherafelt, and then knocked Scoiliana and SAN off the top of the table with a shock win just before the Christmas break. There is some good talent in the squad. Robbie Hanratty picked up a school's all-star at Christmas, and he, Mark Mooney and Jason Irwin were in the Monaghan U17 team that won the Ulster title last year, while Declan Courtney was very consistent throughout the group stages. However, their progress to date has been more about the team unit, and they seem to be enjoying their football as well. St Louis Ballymena include three of their four all-star hurlers in their panel, with Dunloy, Percy Ann Elliott and Anton McGrath their most dangerous forwards. They each have 4 Antrim minor hurling medals and 2 in football, and a Monaghan Cup souvenir. Midfielder Connor Stewart is one of a number of All Saints players in the team holding All-Ireland file medals, while wing-back James McDonald has been playing exceptionally well. However, Ballymena's group campaign was not impressive, with losses to both St Patrick's of Keady and Downpatrick, and they come into this game very much under the radar. In 2015, Our Ladies edged out St Louis in a low-scoring semi-final and then surprised a strong Carrick Macross team to win the title outright 10 years after their first. St Louis have only reached one final, which they lost to Carrick Macross. They don't seem to do well against Monaghan teams. Castleblayney are dangerous this year again, improving and gaining confidence. It will be a surprise if St Louis catch them out. Meanwhile, the last of the Danske Bank MacLarnon Cup games have been deferred to Monday evening in MUSA in Cookstown with a 5 p.m. throw-in. The teams involved are Scoiliana, Innisayan and St Patrick's, Keady. After the game, the draw will take place for the semi-finals, with St Patrick's, Downpatrick and Cathair Dhoire already through. They will be joined by the winner of this afternoon's quarter-final. The Ulster Schools GAA Council yesterday announced arrangements for next week's quarter-finals in the Danske Bank MacLarnon Cup. The first game up will take place on Wednesday evening, February 6, in the Lou between St Patrick's, Maghera and St Patrick's Academy, Dungannon. The pair met in a high-scoring Ranafist Cup final at this age group in the athletic grounds just over 2 years ago. Maghera won that game and this season topped their MacLarnon group, qualifying directly into the quarter-finals, while the Academy have had to come through 2 qualifying games, against St Mary's CBGS Belfast and last Saturday in Letterkenny against St Eunan's. MacLarnon and Hogan champions St Ronan's, Lurgan put their titles on the line in the next game up, which is an Armagh derby with St Patrick's. It will be next Friday evening with a 7:30 p.m. throw-in, but a venue is still to be announced. The pair met at the semi-final stage last year in the athletic grounds, and it took a goal from Owen McConville in injury time to see St Ronan's through. The other 2 quarter-finals will form a doubleheader in Clones on Saturday, February 9th. First up at 1 p.m. is St Michael's, Enniskillen against Abbey CBS, Newry, followed at 2:30 p.m. by the other Newry school, St Colman's College, against McCormack Cup holders Omagh CBS. St Michael's hammered Abbey by a margin of 16 points in a group game in November, but the Newry side have vastly improved in the interim and have come through 2 very tough qualifiers to eliminate last year's finalists St Mary's, Magherafelt and St McCartan's, Monaghan last week. The final game is arguably the pick of the ties, with St Colman's and Omagh CBS both unbeaten this season. Should any of the games end in a draw, there will not be extra time, and replay dates have been allocated for all the games. The draw for the semi-finals will take place in Clones after the Omagh CBS v St Colman's game.